have all of our timers? All right, so we do need a couple more.
Hutch, sorry, Coach Hutch with ST Swarm from Flower Bluff. And then we have Coach Mick back with all of your wonderful and versatile swimmers. Thank you so much for everybody coming over here. And we're going to get started with event one, the mixed 100-yard medley relay. Swimmers, you should be ready. I'm sorry, I don't know everybody. I'm going to send me your bio.
One or three? One?
So it looks like for Heat 1, we only have 3 teams that are going to be competing in this one. There's NRST, all 3 teams. Good different group of kids. Since we are mixed, we're going to definitely have boys, girls of all different ages. And here we go. And we are off small late start on lane 4 by our Kinley Buchholz, but that's okay because she picked up the speed and she's definitely pulling. She's doing really good on that backstroke. So we have these kids competing right now in a medley relay. So medley relays, it's a little bit different. You have 4 kids in a relay. They take turns. This morning we had a small hiccup and had to have our very own Coach Kondo, who's in charge of HPAC, and one of our parent volunteers, Christopher Spitzer, tried to rewire some electricity on the back of a touchpad, and that actually worked out. Seems to be working. Lane 1 seems to be going. So. And we have our first heat almost complete. Yes, nice hard finish from NRST's Olivia Hearn. Heat 2. Just relax. We're going to try again for Heat 2 in just a second.
What happened? What happened
I don't know. A little bit left if you want it. Okay. And we are going with Heat 2. If you're just joining us, to let you know, we have the same teams that we had for the first HPAC. The only difference is that on this one, We are having HPAC, so that's High Performance Aquatic Club, and that is Coach Kondo. He is out of Corpus area, Callan area. We also have NRST, that's Northwest Regional Swim Team, and that was with Coach Isabella and Coach. And then we have Coach Amanda helps out with Coach Kondo as well. We have Coach Hatch with ST Swarm out of Flower Bluff, and then we have Coach Mick. Just a heads up, as we finish this first event, we will have an upcoming the mixed 50-yard freestyle. We're going to take a real short break for some of these swimmers, about 2-3 minutes, and then we're going to get into those 6 heats. Anybody who's winning first in their heat, please remember you get a cupcake. So if you want to have that sugary sweetness in between your next heat, then you might want to stop by over at Coach Amanda and the table where all the stuff is being sold, because we absolutely have plenty of cupcakes. Coach Amanda will be Cupcake Lady today. Please look for her. She's very excited. Let's take advantage of that sugary sweetness, okay, guys? are back on. We are going to be starting the next event. Event number 2, the mixed 50-yard freestyle. We have heat 1 of 6 should be ready and on deck. So let's get this going. Come on, swimmers. Chris, I thought she was heat 3. Okay, event 2, heat 1 of 6 on lanes 3, 4, and 5. On lane 3, we have Annie Vela from Coach Mix. On lane 4, Zane Vasquez, NRST. And on lane 5, Taylor Perry with NRST. Thank you. As it turns out, we had a cancellation, so it looks like Taylor Perry Zane Vasquez. I apologize. Zane Vasquez, the 9-year-old male from NRST, he is not swimming today. So we're only going to have Annie Vela, who's 8 years old from Coach Mix, swimming in lane 3, and Taylor Perry, who is age 10 from NRST, swimming in lane 5. And this is the 50-yard freestyle, so it's there and back, and let's see how these ladies pull out. And we had Taylor come in first in that heat with Annie right behind her. Next, we'll be moving on to heat 2. Should have a full lineup here of seven lanes full. Heat 2, and these kids definitely got bundled into the right group. They're all right about on the same line. Everybody's pretty much passing up the backstroke flags at the same moment. And we have one that made that turn a little bit quicker, and it looks like we're looking at lane 4. That's the magic lane. Preston Perry from NRST, only 13 years old, trying to beat out his time. Seat time was 44.81, and he will take that. 36.17.7. seconds approximately. We still have to get the finalizations from the rest of the timekeepers, but it looks like Preston Perry shaved off about 8 seconds, and that's amazing. That means this water, the temperature has to be a little bit cooler than the last time that we had it, because from the experience and what we've seen and learned from a lot of professional swimmers and coaches and different technique instructors, is that the colder water allows the swimmer to flow a lot better and not be so sluggish as the warm water. And now we're going to get into heat 3. Again, you all know my little Madeline, my own personal child, is going to be in lane 6. The rest of these children, though, are really awesome. Julissa Ochoa with NRST, really great swimmer. Let's see how this goes. Really good start. We do have one swimmer. It looks like Jacob Wetz on lane 5, I think. Yes, lane 5. Lost his goggles. That's going to be a bad thing, but he is still going. He is not letting that stop him. Some great flip turns from these swimmers, and they are pushing it. I think that it looks like Jacob stopped for a second, didn't take his flip turn, but he did put those goggles back on. Ooh, big time, real, getting head to head. Come on, y'all, push it. Yes, and lots of really good times up there. Everybody shaving seconds off. Amazing job. Next up in heat 4, and you might in the background hear a very loud Latina mother, and that is because we are going to welcome back Swimming with Coach Mix, Carlota and Corina Gomez Cisneros, hashtag the CC Sisters. And here we go. You just hear that water. You feel those waves as Carlota and her sister Corina are in lanes 5 and 7. They are pushing with the team. Watch those girls because they're really amazing. They've been swimming since they were very little. Originally, they are from South America. I believe that these two girls have been swimming since pretty much birth, and they just came in, let's see, lane 5. That was Carlota, and she came in first. She's 10 years old, and the older sister. And then Corina, she's 8 years old, in lane 7, came in 5th, still doing really good. It looks like the girls did stay the same or shave off sometimes, so we are so proud and happy to have those two girls back. These are our Dale sisters. And now we're going to move on to heat 5. We are getting through these heats pretty quickly. Lots of competition coming in heat 5. We got some of our faster swimmers. These are the ones that are doing 25 yards in approximately 15 seconds, which is pretty fast. So, they are definitely pulling. Woo! First place is going to go into lane 5 with 26 seconds flat. That means she's swimming 13 seconds each way. That is some fast time, a 26 flat, and that goes to lane 5, Madeline Walney. Amazing, 15 years old. She just shaved off 0.86 seconds. Wonderful job for Madeline. Madeline swims with HPAC, which is Coach Kondo, and you can tell she's definitely bringing in a lot of that technique that he's taught her into the meet. This time, heat 6, we're going to have all men and one lady, 16-year-old Mia Cutler at the very end. Oh, beautiful dive. And let's watch these young gentlemen and this young lady just throw it all out there. Wow, and look at those times. First place going to lane 4, Jaden Lopez. And he did 23.31, a little bit slower than his usual seed time, but that's okay. We're here in the morning and no one's awake just yet. At this time, we have completed event 2, the mixed 50-yard freestyle. We will be taking a short break so our swimmers can get some time in between, catch their breath before they go on to the next event. Next event is event 3, the mixed 50-yard breaststroke. We have 2 heats. We'll start that in about 2 to 3 minutes.
You're like 10, right? Yeah, that's pretty good for you. When I was 10, I was probably like a 34.
Quick 2 to 3 minute break for all the swimmers. A lot of our swimmers are in events back to back to back. Some of them are swimming events 1, 2, and 3 all consecutively.
Like you didn't get an 8 time for stacks, but you got an 8 time like right after. Gavin.
I don't know if that's unlucky. Oh, whoa!
What's his time?
I don't know. I'm not a stalker. Wait.
Thank you for that small break. Swimmers, I hope you are ready. We are going into event number 3, the mixed 50-yard breaststroke. Heat 1 of 2 starts off with 3 contestants. We have Jalissa Ochoa from NRST, Madeline Hernandez from NRST, and Joshua Davis from NRST on lanes 3, 4, and 5. Let's get ready, guys. really good diving. It looks like lane number 4, the Madeline Hernandez had a really good streamline, but she's kind of going slow on this. This is her breaststroke. Jalissa Ochoa seems to be going a little bit faster. This is her first time. She has no time for the breaststroke, but she's trying it out right now. So let's see how these swimmers do. They seem to be keeping up with it. The most important thing about the breaststroke, of course, is that these swimmers, it's not so much about the time, it's more about the technique. Make sure that you get the technique down. A lot of swimmers have a difficulty doing this type of stroke just because it's a legal stroke that you have to make sure that you are doing it to the right technique. You can easily be disqualified for it, but they are doing very, very well. Come back around, and we have Miss Jalissa finishing first and getting herself a time of 1:04.59. Madeline took second in lane 4, 1:04.59. 1:05.35. I'm sorry, 1:05.35. And Joshua Davis just finished up with 1:27.21, which is a little bit slower for him, but you know what? These kids are doing their best today. And here we go with heat 2. So let's go ahead and get a little bit more into this breaststroke. Man, that streamline is wonderful. We've got lane 4 distracting me. Gavin Lopez taking the lead right now. Gavin Lopez is 14 years old. He swims for Coach Mix, and he seems to have definitely taken breast up as his number 1 priority. That is a beautiful slipstream with his hands, and yes, perfect touch. Stopping in first at 32.6. At this time, I need counters to please be over on the bull deck so that you can have the counters for the 500-yard freestyle. Counters to the bullhead, please. We've just finished with event number 3. We're going to go into event number 4. We're getting ready for the mixed 500-yard freestyle. Only 3 swimming in that one, so we're going to have 15-year-old Madeline Walney, 14-year-old Jacob Story, and 15-year-old Dallas Liscano. Now, Madeline, like I said, comes from HPAC. That's Coach Kondo, but Coach Hutch has 2 coming in. His 2 males, 14-year-old Jacob, 15-year-old Dallas, and they will be swimming as well in lanes next to Madeline, not necessarily competing against each other because of the fact that this is a mix, but still we try to let the swimmers see how they swim as far as technique in comparison to the older and the younger, to show how you move throughout the stages. The 500-yard freestyle is going to be a big one. We do have to have counters on the other end to tell the swimmers how many laps, and they do that by producing a counter. It's like a plastic board that has numbers of how many laps they've completed, and they put it right in the water so that the swimmers can see it when they come in and they're making their flip turns or their turns to get ready to go back. Swimmers are taking their marks. And they're off. Madeline, beautiful dive off of the block. Oh man, boys didn't even see her coming. She just popped up out of nowhere with that slipstream, or streamline. I apologize, streamline. There are a lot of terminology, a lot of jargon in swim. Ladies and gentlemen, I will tell you right now, I am not perfect at it, but I am working on it. So we're going to get this. Man, they are just gliding on that water. This is all about endurance. This is all about making sure that you pace yourself with what your body can do. Make sure that you keep your breath under control. Slow, deep breaths. The swimmers have to be able to make it for 500 yards. And in order for you to take that into perspective, every time they go from the block to the bullhead and back, that is 50 yards. So we're definitely going to be getting into some long endurance. But let's go ahead and continue watching and see how these swimmers hold up. Swimmers are about a third of the way done. Still doing really good on their times. We have a time stamp so far of about 2 minutes 15 seconds they've averaged, so looks like we're still running good. These swimmers actually, based on their seed time, swim around the 6-minute range for the 500-yard freestyle, so we're getting there. We're about halfway done now. Swimmers are coming out of lap number 17. almost there, still keeping up with beautiful time. And Maddie is just doing amazing. It's very difficult to see swimmers like this when it's female versus the males because our our physiology is different, but Maddie is pushing herself and giving that all she's got. And we're on the last lap, and here we go. She's pulling. She's giving it her all. You can see her flip it up. And Maddie will take first place in this heat with 5 minutes, 52.94 seconds. She has shaved off 7 seconds, more than that, 22 seconds from her time. She did amazing. Amazing swimming. Let's hear it for those swimmers. Maddie, Jacob, Dallas. Woo! I can see that y'all are exhausted, but way to go! Next up, we're going to have event number 5, mixed 25-yard breaststroke. Let's let these older swimmers take a break before they go on to the next event. And we have our little swimmers off. This group is nothing but a bunch of 8 and 9-year-olds. The only male is Zane Vasquez in lane 6, but these cute little swimmers, they're trying to pick themselves up, keep themselves over the water with the breaststroke. Good technique, good form. Amazing little swimmer in lane 3. That is Kenley Bockholt, age 9 from NRST. Wonderful job by the little swimmers. They keep pushing, keep going. Olivia Earn having a little bit of difficulty getting up against the lane lines, but still trying to keep straight, pushing forward with it, and finishing that event perfect. Preparing for heat 2. We get up a little bit older. 1 7-year-old Gio Chairas in lane 5. And an 8-year-old Holden Parker in lane 1. Gio comes from HPAC under Coach Kondo, and our 8-year-old Holden's from NRST. Rest of our kids are ages 10, 11, 12, and 13. So a pretty good mixture of swimmers in this heat. A lot about the backstroke is that since the swimmers cannot see where they're going, they can't legally turn their head until they are 1 arm length away from the pad. So what they do is they use what's called the backstroke flags. You'll see red and white flags hanging down across each end of the pool. And those are to notify swimmers that they're approaching a wall, and they usually use that in practice to count down how many strokes it will take them before they have to do their final stroke and flip over. So it's good that these swimmers are learning that. Take heed of the backstroke flags. And now we'll move on to heat 3 and the final heat of event 5, the 25-yard backstroke. In this heat, again, we are joined by 8-year-old Corina Gomez Cisneros in lane 8 and Carlota, her older sister, age 10, in lane 5, both swimming for Coach Mix. And their famous pastime of Dale Dale to the Venezolanos. They are from Venezuela and they do, swim very well. These girls were made for swimming. And that's going to end event 5, the mixed 25-yard breaststroke. Next events, we will be combining event number 6, the mixed 200-yard backstroke, with event number 8, the mixed 200-yard butterfly. We have 3 contestants, so we should have Cademan Stapper from STSS, Jaden Ferguson from HPAC, and Jaden Lopez, STSS. We need swimmers, event 6 and event 8 to the blocks. Give us just a second as we have those swimmers prepping. Looks like we're going to move them down a little bit and get Jaden Lopez, 15 years old, swimming with Coach Hutch on lane 2 to kind of give him a little bit of space. And definitely sounds like Coach Kondo and I are synced on the same mind wavelength at this moment, which could be sad for him because I'm a little decaffeinated. Jaden Lopez. We are combining the backstroke with the butterfly. Event 6 and event 8. From the looks of it, we have one swimmer who appears to not be swimming in the 200-yard backstroke, so we're down to only 2 swimmers. We have 16-year-old Cademan Stapper from SCSS swimming in lane 4. And then, again, we have Jaden Lopez who's swimming the 200-yard butterfly in lane 2. So you, ladies and gentlemen that are watching live, you are having the opportunity to watch 2 wonderful, around the same age swimmers with a lot of technique. Some older gentlemen swim 2 different strokes, and you can see how the strokes take out different amounts of energy from these 2 swimmers. I'll tell you what, though, I've never seen a backstroke look so smooth unless you're counting an Olympian. Cademan Stapper has amazing technique, definitely holds himself above the water. I can see the sternness, maintaining his breath in a slow manner, making sure that he watches the backstroke flags so that he knows and he counts 1, 2 strokes and then turn over. Meanwhile, Jaden Lopez is doing amazing. He is keeping up with that butterfly, trying to keep his breathing controlled. Difficulty in butterfly is trying to find a time to breathe. It's hard. If you're watching Jaden live, he is in lane 2. He has to spread his arms out and above in front of him and basically lift himself out of the water in this beautiful butterfly stroke. And that means that he only gets a portion of a millisecond to take a breath. A wonderful job by Jaden Lopez. He just finished. Cademan has just finished as well. Both swimmers did amazing. Jaden has shaved off about 10 seconds off of his 200-yard butterfly seat time. Event 7. We now have event 7, the mixed 200-yard breaststroke. There are 5 swimmers competing in lanes 2 through 6. In lane 2, we have Annika Brashars from HPAC. We have Gavin Lopez in lane 3 from Coach Mix. Annabelle Griffin with Coach Mix. And you can already hear Coach. She is stroking them along on that breast. Connor Hutchinson, he is in lane 5 from STSS. That's Coach Hutch. And then from HPAC, we have JP Gassiorowski. I am hoping I said that right. Let's see what happened. I will probably be corrected, but linguistics was not my forte. Swimmers are getting it. The breaststroke is a little bit different. You cannot do a flip turn. Breaststroke swimmers are required to touch the wall before going back into a kickoff of the wall and then into a streamline before they come back up and proceed with their breaststroke. Great job, swimmers. That's going to complete event number 7, the mixed 200-yard breaststroke. Up next, we have event number 9, the mixed 100-yard IM. That's the individual medley, heat 1 of 2. We have 3 swimmers in lanes 3, 4, and 5. If I can get those swimmers with heat 2 on deck. Beginning swimmers are all 3 from NRST. That's Taylor Perry, 10 years old in lane 3. Molly Lozano, 11 years old in lane 4. And Joshua Davis, a 12-year-old in lane 5. Again, we are doing the 100-yard IM. This is where the swimmers will swim a different stroke. This is an individual medley. So it's very similar to the medley relay, a little bit different in the direction of where they're going to be swimming, or like how they do the strokes, what kind of an order they do them in. And that's just because we have a difference between the you have your medleys for your teams, and then you have your medleys for your individuals. So on an individual medley, the order for that is fly, back, breast, free. So they will be swimming the butterfly first. They are completing backstroke right now. Next, they will be going into the breaststroke, and finally, they are going to bullet it out with the freestyle. This is one of those types of strokes, events that you have to really maintain focus. These swimmers are having to remember that they're changing into different techniques, different strokes, and that's going to require a lot of sync. Their body has to be in sync so that they can transition properly. You have to remember when you can and cannot do a flip turn. You have to remember when you can and cannot touch the touch pad or the wall, what type of touch you have to do, because there's different types of touches. There's a two-hand touch, there's a one-hand touch. So the swimmers do definitely have to be thinking about a lot of different things while they are swimming, and this is a very tedious type of event, especially when they're getting the little kids to start it off. These swimmers, like I said, 10, 11, and 12, almost through. We have Taylor and Joshua coming in on the outer two lanes, and we're going to finish up right now, second and third. So we're doing really good with around 2 minutes. Here we go with event number 2. Again, we have the Cisneros Gomez sisters, hashtag CC sisters, and Madeline Hernandez women in lane 1. Full lanes. And we're off with heat 2 of 2 on the mixed 100-yard IM. Lots of ages here. Starting off with the butterfly. You can definitely tell where some of these kids are not used to the butterfly, but that is okay, because these swimmers do have their particular strokes that they are really good at, and they will push it up. And again, you can hear the mother of the Cisneros Gomez sisters and their father in the background saying dale, 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 which is go, 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 like swim, swim, swim. Let's keep getting faster. Very good cultures going on right here. Strokes are doing amazing. Our swimmers are really pushing at it. I'm so proud of them. These swimmers just give it their all. You can't imagine how tiring it can be to swim this much. It is an all-out exercise, and these girls and boys are just pushing themselves. We've already got a first place, fourth lane, Madeline Walney. She was in this heat. Very amazing fast times. Second went to 5, which is JP. He's that one that I didn't have the last name correctly, but we're going to try that. Gasiorowski. Lots of fast times. These swimmers are pushing it. We have our final free strokers coming in lanes 1, 6, and 7, it looks like. Yes, and we are looking at a wonderful swim. Great event for those swimmers right there. Awesome job. Can we get a round of applause for everybody so far? Woo! Y'all wake up, it's the morning. Next up, we're going into event number 10, mixed 100-yard butterfly. For event 10, we have one heat, the mixed 100-yard butterfly, and in heat 1, we have 4 competitors. And this is going to be very interesting. In lane 3, it's Dennis Yazvin, who is 9 years old, swimming for HPAC. That's Coach Kondo's team. In lane 4, Cademan Stapper, age 16, swimming for Coach Hutch and STSS. Cademan's doing really, really well. He is a fantastic swimmer, one of our older ones, really pushing himself and showing that he is ready for regionals and state this year. In lane 5, Coach Mix's 14-year-old Annabelle Griffin. She is an amazing swimmer as well. Definitely do enjoy watching her take the dive off of the block, because I do enjoy the way that she does her streamline. Her hands are very straight, her legs stay together, and she does a really excellent job with her form when coming off that block. And then in lane 6, we have 7-year-old Gio Chires from HPAC. He is our youngest, but still pushing himself to the end. He is one of Coach Kondo's other swimmers, and a very, very good young man swimming, who is definitely trying to perfect some of those techniques. At this time, we're going to be taking a short break, a 2 to 3 minute break, and then we will continue. Next up, we will have event number 11, the mixed 200-yard freestyle. There will be 2 heats, so swimmers, be ready.
Jill.
Please excuse us, but if you're watching live right now, we are having a swimmer who did miss his last event, so we're allowing him to swim right now. This is our swimmer, Gio Chires, 7-year, right? He's 7-year-old, or is Dennis? Gio. Thank you very much. Yes, we have Gio, the 7-year-old from HPAC. He had missed his event in the last heat, which is probably why I didn't see 4 swimmers. I only saw 3. That's mistake on the announcer. I'm sorry, guys. The water's going. You look like little piranhas just running around. So you kind of get a little head laps, all the water, all the swim caps bobbing up and down. But this Gio's doing amazing. He's doing a great job. He is definitely getting that speed, and he is almost there, man. So please enjoy Gio as he continues. And getting back from the break and that quick little swim from Gio. Thank you very much, Gio, for doing that. You did amazing. Woo! Way to go, Gio. So now we're going to continue. Event 11, the mixed 200-yard freestyle. Heat 1 of 2. We have 3 swimmers. Preston Perry, age 13 from NRST in lane 3. Annika Brashards in lane 4, 13 years old from HPAC. And Bella Slocum in lane 5, also 13 years old, swimming for HPAC. Here we go, swimmers. And we're off. Annika Brashards taking the lead at the moment. Annika and Bella, the 2 females that are swimming, do swim for Coach Kondo, while Preston is a swimmer for Northwest Regional Swim Team, which is under Coach Isabella. Isabella is a returning swimmer. She has swam her entire time. She gave up a lot. Just graduated from high school last night, one of the youngest coaches, but still a very respectable coach. She may be young, but fierce and mighty. She is proving. We're waiting to see what Coach Isabella brings forward with these kids, and she has some tricks up her sleeve to get some of our swimmers into some really good events and get them to peak so that they can make it to state and hopefully the nationals, which should be held in California next year. our swimmers. Keep going. Swimmers are coming back from their completing their first lap all the way around, and this is in heat 2. These are our older kids, so they are 11 and older, still trying to push. These are the ones with some quicker times. We're going to see how Dallas Escano holds up. He is in lane 7. Him and JP Gasurowski in lane 1 seem to be some of the quick ones. But we do have Landon Wendell, age 15, swimming for Coach Hutch, one of his secret power weapons. Landon definitely pushes, and he is the one that you will be seeing in the lead in lane 4. Keep your eyes out on Landon Wendell. And that is the end of event 11, the mixed 200-yard freestyle. Way to go, swimmers. Way to push it. We are coming up on event number 12, the mixed 25-yard freestyle. Swimmers should be ready. We're going to start off with heat 1 of 3. Uh-oh, we have a couple of little swimmers pushing, really trying to get it there. We are in lanes 3, Zane Vasquez, 9 years old, and then in lane 7, Olivia Hearn, 8 years old, both swimming for NRST. Pushing, got a lot of little swimmers coming. Just got to make it to that end. There we go. One's made it, and another one. And that is the end for heat 1. swimmers have to try to pull themselves up. I know it's got to be a tough task for some of these kids. I can barely pull myself up out of bed, let alone thinking a swimming pool or a bathtub. Let's face it, y'all. When we get to be around the age of over 30 and we are the parents, our kids swim circles around us in dry land or wetland. It doesn't make a difference. And now with Heat 2 on the line, another full heat with 8 lanes all going. NRST has a 10-year-old, Ava Green, who's swimming in lane 2. She's a really good swimmer, really fast. But then again, you have your Briley Layton from NRST, who's 9 years old, who's pulling up in lane 1. These kids all seem to be around the same time, and it's looking like between 17 and 20 seconds. And there we go with another heat, and we are coming into heat number 3 again. We're going to have the Cisneros Gomez sisters, or Gomez Cisneros, Corina and Carlota. CC sisters. The Venezolanos are going to be in lanes 2 and lane 3, and they will be swimming up against each other. Let's see how the little sister compares to her big sister, and see if Coach Mix has taught any new tricks to these girls. And again, we're swimming with the Venezolanos, and it's dale, 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 Corina and Carlota. Got a group of some fast swimmers here. Woo! Next event is number 13, the mixed 50-yard butterfly with 2 heats. Heat 1 should be on deck. We have 6 swimmers. Taking a quick little pause right now. I apologize. Yes, we will take a quick minute break. We do have Corina Gomez Cisneros swimming again back to back. We're trying to give these swimmers some time to catch their breath when they're doing back-to-back events. Thank you for your patience. Since this is a small meet and it is only our second annual kickoff to summer meet for HPAC for our new program, we do have a limited amount of swimmers. Some of these swimmers are swimming multiple events, and as coaches and volunteers and as parents, we don't want our children to half swim something because they didn't have a chance or 30 seconds to catch a breath. So we try to give our swimmers some time to prepare and to be able to be ready for the next event, especially when they're going back to back. Try to give them a little breathing room, but still the same, we are all working together, and this is all about the kids. It's all for the swimmers. And now that we've gotten our break, we are going to continue. We have in lane 2, Lucas Forshaw, 9 years old, NRST. In lane 3, Alston Shabala Bolster. She is 11 years old, and she's swimming for NRST. Lane 4, Sean Alfaro, age 10, swimming for HPAC. In lane 5, Corina Gomez Cisneros, 8 years old, swimming for Coach Mix. In lane 6, Madeline Hernandez, age 13, swimming for NRST. And in lane 7, Gio Chares, age 7, swimming for HPAC. And this is the 50-yard butterfly. Like I said, all about technique. As a mom, I have to remember that as much as I want my child to do her best, I'm still cheering for all of these swimmers. And they have all done amazing jobs. So we are definitely getting some good swimming out of these competitors. Next up will be heat 2. And in heat 2, we're joined in lane 1 by Carlota Gomez Cisneros. We have in lane 2, Dennis Yazvin, age 9, swimming for HPAC. Maya Cutler in lane 3, 16 years old, swimming for STSS. Gavin Lopez for Coach Mix, 14 years old in lane 4. Jose Morales, lane 5, age 11, swimming for HPAC. Then we have Liam McCloy in lane 6. He's 10 years old, swimming for HPAC. Bo Barber is going to be in lane 7, swimming for STSS at age 15. And Anika, I can't say that name correctly. I got brushards, but Anika or Anika, she is in lane 8, age 13, HPAC. Quick swim for these fast and robust swimmers. "30 seconds of their time, and I tell you, these kids are swimming like we are going to finish by noon. Next event will be event 14, the mixed 200-yard IM. Mixed 200-yard IM. We have 6 swimmers, and then after event 14, we will take a 3-minute break. Lanes 2 and 3. We are looking at, I apologize, we're looking at lane 4, Jaden Lopez. He is 15 years old. He's swimming for Coach Hutch. Him, and it looks like that's lane 4 and lane 3. Lane 3. Oh, both Coach Hutches. Cademan and Jaden are definitely 15 and 16 years old. Lanes 3, lanes 4. And they seemed to be starting this off with a nice little friendly competition between the two competitors. Now they're just trying to keep consistent with their swim patterns and their breathing before they give it their all. But I'll tell you what. Even though Jaden seems to be in the lead currently, Cademan is right there making sure that he does not have a huge gap between the two. And we're going to watch and see as we come into this freestyle stroke how they step it up. Again, this is a 200-yard IM, so they're going to come back to their starting point. And at this point, Cademan and Jaden are going to turn on that switch of freestyle, and you're going to see them go. Jaden appears to be starting with a really good streamline. Let's see if Cademan can close that gap. He's going to have to pick it up right here in the flip turn. I don't know if he's going to make it because Jaden's already a whole half a length in front of him, and it seems that we're going to have a pretty easy determination of first in this heat going to Jaden Lopez, Coach Hutch's 15-year-old star swimmer. And then second going to Cademan Stapper, Coach Hutch's other all-star swimmer. Almost done with this section, and once we finish with this event number 14, we are going to take a quick 3-minute break to allow our swimmers to breathe before we get back into event number 15. We're more than halfway done with our events, and we'll start back after the break with the mixed 100-yard breaststroke. We only have one heat on that, so 3-minute break. You're more than welcome to enjoy the pool. And now we are going to move on. Good job, Gavin. Way to swim. I know. So our next event 22, the mixed 50-yard kick with fins. We're going to have 2 heats. In heat 1, lanes 2 through 7, we have Lucas Forshaw, Alston, Bolster, Carlota, Corina, and then Julissa Ochoa in 6, and Annika Brashars in 7. We're going to have Holden Parker and Ryland Parker in heat 2, please. And it looks like we are ready to go. Teams, are y'all ready? Swimmers, are y'all ready to swim? Come on, are y'all ready to go home? Yeah. Heat 1 of 2, event 23 and final event of this second annual kickoff, the mixed 100-yard freestyle relay. And we are off. Strongly trying to get out there. Lanes 3 and 4 seem to be right. 3, 4, and 5 are in sync. Lane 6, that is going to be Annabelle Griffin swimming that first leg for Coach Mix. As it appears, we have one more team finishing up, and that is going to be one of the NRS teams in lane 5. Second and final heat. All swimmers for heat 2 to your blocks, please. All swimmers to the blocks. We should have lanes 2 through 7 filled. Now onto the final heat for the mixed 100-yard freestyle relay. That's event 23 and the final event and swim competition that we are going to have for this meet. Swimmers have taken their blocks. And they are off. The majority of these teams look like they're going to be swimming from, we've got 2 NRST teams in lanes 6 and 7. We have HPAC, which is Coach Condors, in lanes 5. Two and 3, and then in lane 4, in lanes 2, 3, it is HPAC, and in lane 5, in lanes, and then we have lanes, 2 lanes with STSS, which is Coach Hutch's. We do have Coach Hutch, his teams right now doing their swim teams, which actually, 4 and 5 with our faster ones, and they're going to be the ones to take first and second in this heat. That's all thanks to his amazing swimmers, including Caedmon Dapper. You've got Landon Wendell. We've gotten to see Dallas Liscano, Jacob Story, a lot of great swimmers today. Almost through, still have a small swimmer trying to take it at the very end, and that's going to be NRSTs in lane 8. I apologize, it was lane 8, 7 and 8 NRST. Lane 8's the final one, still pushing it. As we have our last 2 lanes closing in on the final of this event. Thank you. Woo! Way to swim. Swimmers, y'all did amazing today. Volunteers, thank you so much for assisting. Coaches, God bless your heart because you have patience like none other. Coaches, please remember to pick up all of the awards for your teams. Awards will be distributed. Swimmers, don't forget to come and check out the cupcakes. Come and get some extra cupcakes. I want to thank you all for being here. Way to go. Parents, way to be involved and help your kids come out. And thank you so much. Y'all enjoy your weekend.